Hey guys, Drifter here. As many of you may already know, I got invited out by Ubisoft to play Far Cry Primal early, and today I'm sharing with you gameplay from my favorite mission from that event. Right now, I'm using my hunter vision to try and find the bloody handprints on the walls as I swim through this narrow canal, because I'm hunting down my stolen tribesmen. They were kidnapped by this evil enemy tribe. Here they are here. They're highlighted in yellow because I'm using my vision to kind of ping them. It shows what is and isn't an interactive object when you do that. The game is more of a wilderness survival game and less of a traditional shooter, so they decided to add this, what they call hunter vision. It's basically predator vision, so that you know what you can and can't interact with, so you don't walk around randomly pressing square or X or interact on all the different plants. There's a link down in the description that you can click. It's the very first one in the description if you want to learn more about the game's story or just about anything else I'm going to talk about today. I'm supposed to swim underneath their base and come out on the other side, but about halfway through in one of the breathing areas, I noticed that there is a grappling hook on the wall, and I remembered that I happen to have one of those in my inventory. If I were playing the game at normal pace, I would have had to find the person that knows how to make grappling hooks, get all the gear and have him teach me how to make them, and then I would craft them on my own, but thankfully I have it already done, so I'm able to grapple up onto the wall, pull myself up, and get into the enemy base a little bit more sneaky-like. Since we are in 10,000 BC, we don't have AK-47s or machine guns. We've got club spears, bow and arrows, and guard bears. There he is right there, Yogi. One of the interesting things that they chose to do to supplement the lack of weapon variety in 10,000 BC was to allow you to train animals. Flying, running, swimming, all kinds of animals. I'm going to go ahead and start off by picking off guards, and I got a bow and arrow headshot right off the bat. Headshots are still the way to go in this game, even though you aren't using traditional headshot type weapons. When you put an arrow in somebody's eye, they have a tendency to not get back up, whereas they can take several in their body, even pull them out of their body. You can also throw spears and impale people. You can run into them with spears or beat them with clubs. And one of my favorite things to do is to call in my owl. My owl can do a lot of different things. I can use the hunter vision on the owl to ping the whole area to kind of see where the enemies are and get some idea of what's going on before I come in. I can see there's a shielded enemy. I can see my clansmen in cages over there, and I can see some of the guards. If you fly too low, you can't do it, but at just the right angle, you can send your owl to attack the enemies and like rip their necks or claw their eyes. You'll notice there's some locked options. You can give the owl some of your tossable, like they're kind of like grenades, like beehives or stuff, and the owl will drop it. There we go with the nice attack. See, the owl has taken one person down already. I can give him a beehive, and the owl can fly over the map and drop the beehive on people. Again, since we're not using real guns, bow and arrows kind of have limited ranges. I wish I could shoot this guy. I'm trying to guess the arc and stuff, but that is just absolutely not working. I'm gonna go pick up a spear, and it looks like I've been spotted by the heavily guarded enemy. Go guard bear, go Yogi, get him, smack him. And this is the point where the game tends to devolve into like complete chaos melee wise. One of the weaknesses I found with the game is that you don't have a block option. Like it's not like Morrowind or Elder Scrolls or something where you can block. It's pretty much all attack, just brutalize people, beat them up, and you have to rely pretty heavily on the animals. That's not a mistake either. It's intentionally that so you can get club headshots. I feel like I'm Fred Flintstone here, doing like Splinter Cell Flintstone or something like that. But the bears and the other animals, you can train. What is it? You can train mammoths. You can train wolves. You'll see a cheetah later on. Each different animal has its own specialty. Some work better in different areas. Let's go ahead and throw a beehive on these people because I just don't feel like dealing with them right now. I love this. When you come out and you look at them, there's just like a whole swarm of bees and they're screaming. Just a pro tip though, you don't want to get too close to... Oh no, they killed Yogi. Oh, we're going to have to give him a little bit of food. You heal your animals and keep them alive by giving them pets and foods. Each animal has its own unique feeding animation and, surprisingly, its own unique petting animation. You'll see some of the petting and feeding animations later on. I've now cleared off most of the base guards, but we have one straggler. And as I was saying earlier about commanding animals, I can go ahead and send Yogi to go get this guy. Just tell him he's got a bunch of picnic baskets he needs to clean up. And it might take a little while. The bear is one of the slower animals, although he's one of the stronger ones. They'll plod at almost any range and just go and wreck people. It works really, really well on grunts and lower level enemies. However, for stronger armored enemies, for chiefs, priestesses, anybody that's got mystical powers or anybody that's more powerful than the regular base units, they tend to clobber your animals, so you have to use the animals as a distraction or a backup. At this point, I'm saving my clansmen. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my bear's eating. I think my bear is eating that guy's body, and gross. I have had my wolf occasionally pee on dead bodies to mark them. At this point, my objective is to burn down the enemy village, and they decided to, instead of making the villages kind of like Far Cry 3 or 4, where you can blow them up or set them on fire, typically you would blow them up with explosives, these you can just burn. You can set a stick on fire with this amazing 10th century BC technology and burn down all of their structures. You can see I have a meter up there that indicates just how much of the village I'm burning. You can do this to your village, the enemy villages, the enemies can come into your villages and set it on fire. One of the more fun things you can do is you can set animals on fire. The fluffier the animal, the better it burns. I burned yaks and woolly mammoths, and in the very beginning of the game I set dogs and stuff on fire. I laughed at it a lot more than I should have, right? There we go, get a nice headshot with the bow and arrow, and I totally missed that one. Double headshot with the bow and arrow, picking up 30 XP here. Should have mostly cleaned out the bad guys. Do I have, oh, it looks like I do have one left. Let's see if I can pick him off at a distance. Managed to hit the body. See, the body shots don't really do as much good, and sometimes they're just hard to hit with the bow and arrow. I like to take the bow and arrow is really the stealthy route. So I'm gonna get a spear. I totally missed that one. Okay, screw it. We'll just do a few light pokes, and let's go in for one big one to finish her off right in the face. It's kind of crazy. It feels weird when I get like spear headshots. One of the abilities that I have on this character, which I'm not using at the moment because I totally forgot about it, is that I can like sprint into them and just javelin them in the face with the spear for a more powerful attack. I just wasn't using it at the moment. We're queuing another cutscene where I'm supposed to leave and escape the village at this point, but things go just a little bit tits up. And let's go, I'm going to go ahead and stop blabbing so you can watch the cutscene and get a little bit of the story explained to you.
Wincha, du hesti. Tja, moro.
Chua lachen die. Moes ist
Imo! Hey, guarpati hest.
Ubhemi!
Hisilachwe por he hiost. Dod. We hesti subnieti. Velos hesiwenja. Orosom rekti wersi. Silachwe. Moheochte. Oi, neki beresi. Oi. Battare.
Aquai mina.
Hisilachwe. Hiotsti wersi. Tod. Wenjawe. Achtor.
So totally not voodoo priestess lady manages to kick me into her what looks like slave arena pit. One of the story behind these guys is that they're slavers and that being captured by them is worse than death. So I have to jump back underwater, swim out, do a little bit more exploration. But yet most of the game isn't like this. A lot of the game is very much so survival based. You have to maintain your food, you have to maintain your temperature. If you go to areas that are too cold, you need wolf pelts and fires and stuff or you'll freeze to death. I think my bear comes back to visit me in just a second. Where is Yogi at? What's he doing? Oh, it's a nice little sack. Let me... Oh, I'm getting... falling out of the water here. Let me jump back up here and search my sack. They have little... I don't know, little like supply drops you can pick up. There's Yogi. We're gonna, you know what, we're gonna summon a different animal. We have used Yogi just a little bit too much. We are going to... Oh, we're gonna give him... Oh, you've been a good bear. You're a good bear. You're a good boy. Alright, but it's time to see you later, bud. We have to call in some tactical cat backup. I have tamed a jaguar. You tame animals by throwing meat, and while they're eating the meat and distracted, you can kind of sneak up on them and pet them and say some things and coo at them, and if they like your pets, they'll join you. Let's go ahead and send the jaguar to attack this poor unfortunate grunt, and he's just going to swipe him. Just, look at that. He doesn't even know who to fight. Poor guy. My jaguar did get hurt. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. Here, let me give you a treat. A little unique feeding animation. That's one of the more unique feeding animations, in my opinion, is that he jumps up and catches the meat. You can also pet the kitty. Oh, he's a good kitty. You're a good kitty. Oh, your breath smells like blood, but you're so cute. Good kitty. At this point, we're supposed to be exploring a little bit, so I could leave the camp, escape, a little bit more exploration, and a little bit more swimming later. You have left the base. If I can, I try to jump over the tree for some reason. Just like Fallout games or something like that, I'm always trying to find the short path instead of following what is typically animal grazing trails or, you know, rivers are going to be your roads in this game. And we have the final cutscene, which I'll leave it to you. That was my favorite mission that I played so far. One of the stealthier, longer ones, but I will be doing a fuller review in a day or two. Just kind of wanted to have you guys get a feel for it. Drifter out.
Mas brastari, shayu guarsta.
Shajan, Sushalhain Suwachan. Samwinja Huhinaja.
Battery, hasta, sustugistar, charda hapuris. Battery, winja sita hisna damshadaha, udanasu.
Samprasti. Battery Waidam. Sadwis Waidam.
Sustugistar, Porbijanha, Portanhi, Sasam, Snardagua. Upaila buha guarpeti. Machi battery, Madita. Guam, Tishai, Gas, Upavi.